So, welcome Cozystack community meeting. Today is 12th December 2024. I'm glad to see somebody joined. I have to repeat every time that we have Telegram group where you can join and ask your questions. We have Slack channel in official Kubernetes Slack. We probably don't have anyone new on this meeting, so I will switch and go to agenda. And today we have new release of Cozystack. This release includes the new feature. It allows you to configure OEDC server on Cozystack. This OEDC server is not enabled by default, but it is still possible to do. For make it working, you need to add specific configuration for your Talos Linux nodes, especially for control planes, to let Kubernetes authenticate through this OEDC server. Have domain for key clock reachable, and also have storage configured to make it possible to run database for the key clock itself. To enable key clock, you just need to enable to add OEDC enabled true setting to Cozystack config map, and then it will deploy and configure key clock for you fully automatically. After that, you can get access to the key clock itself. This is how it looks like. There are two realms created by default. We have Cozy realm, and we have pre-created groups for every tenant. So in this way, you can configure your users, you can configure external identity providers. We will publish on the documentation how to do that in a while. So you can authenticate your users through the GitHub, GitLab, or GitLab. And after you created user, you can add it to specific groups. This user will be able to manage specific tenants. So if you have structure of tenants, you can add user to multiple different tenants, and they will have access to the tenants actually. Dashboard also configured to use this key clock, so you can authenticate using your user settings. You can switch tenants here. And also for every tenant, we added an option for quickly downloading kubeconfig file for the management cluster. So since now those default roles allows you to manage Cozystack using our own new API server. And you can do this using credentials for accessing kubeconfig, which you can use for accessing management cluster. That's one huge feature which we were working for last few weeks. The next thing that we also tested, kubespan support. The documentation get updated. Kubespan is feature of Talos Linux. It allows you to create full mesh network based on WireGuard tunnels. So to enable it, you just need to add two options to enable discovery. Yeah, here is a bug. We need to put it to true and set kubespan enabled true as well. Small changes requires in Cozystack configuration. So you need to change empty value of kubevariant to lower number. In this way, traffic flow will go through the tunnels with no troubles. Also in this release, we updated MetalLB, which enabled FRR support, updated Cilium, updated LinStore to the latest patch release, and also virtualization components and Talos Linux itself. Also, the small change was to the our API server. Previously, it wasn't working with Terraform now we fixed this issue. The problem was that Terraform actually looking for Open API spec, and previously it wasn't generated fine. Now you can get JSON. Actually, for every resource, it will have valid spec. So Terraform now also working, and you can use Terraform to manage our resources through our API server. Also, short announce that we are going to apply CNCF Sandbox again. And if you're using Cozystack, please go ahead and send commit to add yourself and your organization to the adopters files. We need it to show CNCF that people are really using our project. It would be really nice to have more adopters of Cozystack, public adopters, which we can mention in this file. That's it. That's probably all we have for now, and we have few discussions. We are about to develop our new dashboard. The main reason for replacing existing dashboard that this dashboard is currently not working with our API. So we want to make a really transparent dashboard, which will work transparently with our API resources and have permissions only for it. We have few consideration. So currently the main candidate for this OpenShift console, it has ready Helm plugin, which currently not working with Fluxity, but we're going to rework it to work with Fluxity resources and or especially with our resources. So it will be totally similar to that things we have here. And also the important thing that it has a virtualization plugin, which allows you to manage virtual machines, get access to the console, upload files, and turn it on, turn it off, and things like that. Other candidate was Kubernetes Manager. That's a more young project. I think it is also working fine. It works directly with Kubernetes API and also provides virtual machine management. So the question is, if you know any other candidates which we can use or consider for on implementing dashboard for Cozystack.
Maybe Rancher?
Yeah, Rancher. Totally forgot about this. We actually checked Harvester, but it seems it has a lot of requirements for Rancher native resources. So I've tried to run Harvester UI. It looks really nice. This is how it looks like. But it was trying to query about 20 or 30 different resources in Rancher IO API. So I think it might be really difficult to rework it and make it working with our vanilla approach. But thanks for noting this. Any other options? Okay, then the other topic to discuss is how to provide the proper way for providing access.
Sorry,
Yep.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Whether you check have you checked the telecommunication requirements like DPDK or SRIOF on your clusters? I mean,
This is a good question. You mean
different data paths? Yes, the different data paths for Kubernetes and libvirt which you use.
We haven't checked that yet, but as far I know, KubeOVN, the plugin we use for network communication, supports DPDK. We have no any chance to test it yet, but if you're interested in supporting this feature, you can help us. If you can try it yourself and give us feedback if we what should be done to enable this, because this is a needed feature and we really want to support it. For now, we just have no paying customers for this. So it should be supported. It should be researched. And then we can just extend the documentation how to enable support for this.
Okay, thank you. I will check.
I will just post a link to KubeOVN docs. We also currently we use something between 1.12 and 1.13 because in last 2 weeks it just released the newer version. There is an PR for updating to this version, but it is not working for now. But we use Go binaries from 1.13 and KubeOVN, the OVN daemon from 1.12. I know it's slightly complicated, but I think some features from 1.13 will work in our environment. Thank you for your question. We also wanted to discuss how to organize proper access to Kubernetes clusters and virtual machines created in Cozystack. And we also want to provide some kind of proxy with web interface to let users go through it. So you would just need one service exposed. Then you can access the virtual machines and Kubernetes clusters through the teleport or similar solution. Actually, I don't know other solutions. I know that there is teleport existing, but it's somehow limited and in open source version. So I'm not sure if there are any possible alternatives. If you know any of them, please feel free to share. No ideas. Well, okay. In this way, we have no topics else. If you have any questions, please put them. I'll try to answer.
What about using several Cozy clusters with one key clock? Will it support in future or maybe no? What do you think about this?
I think it really makes sense. I was also thinking about the implementation for this. And here is the question that key cloak can actually be connected to the other key cloak. And I think it would be really nice to have one local key cloak connected to the other key cloaks. Not sure if it will be working fine, but we need to test this functionality.
Thanks.
Any other questions? If not, then thank you. Thank you everyone for attending our weekly community meeting. See you next week, same time. Bye.